Okay, we'll start. I'm Marta Gouger. I'm with the Times News and a Cancer Society volunteer. And we're here today with Maureen Donovan, Cancer Society volunteer, and the 4 Cancer Courage Award recipients. And we're just going to talk about what brought us here today. Teresa, you want to start?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Hi, Marta. Hi, Maureen.
Hi.
I'm Teresa Long, and I am here because I feel I have such an important story to share. I had cancer 3 times, and I am 59 years old. So that was I've had a lot of challenges and certainly a lot of difficulty getting to this point in my life. But I'm happy to say that in spite of dealing with 3 different types of cancer, I am a happy, thriving, independent, successful woman. I have a family. I have 2 sons. I have a husband. I have a very, very successful, important job. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm the CEO of a psychiatric hospital. The shock came about 26 years ago. I was 34, turning 35, and I had breast cancer. And at that age, who was thinking about breast cancer? I certainly was not. I was very fortunate. I had a lumpectomy. I did not have to undergo chemotherapy. However, I did have radiation for 8 weeks and tamoxifen for 5 years, and came through that beautifully. And the second bout of cancer came about 14 years later, the other breast, different type of cancer. I found out that I have the gene that causes breast cancer, had a double mastectomy, 2 children at that time, 4 and 6. It was extremely stressful, extremely emotional, but I got through that because of my family and my children. The last thing that happened was 2 years ago. Unexpectedly, I was diagnosed with a carcinoid tumor in my left lung. And 2 years ago, I underwent a lobectomy, and here I am. So my message is, getting through that was not difficult because, number one, first and foremost, I leaned on God. I've always been a very strong spiritual person. And so that incredible time was carrying God and spiritually. In addition to that, my family was so important to me. And the last cancer episode, the lung cancer, my children are much older now. But I knew that I had an opportunity to show them what difficulty in life looks like, or could look like, and how you endure it through it. I'm happy to say through all of that, I was successful at getting a master's degree. It took me 10 years in spite of all of the cancer issues, but I was able to achieve that goal. And I feel great, and you can get through this. And I'm certainly a testament to that. So thank you for the opportunity for me to share this story, Marta.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Maureen, do you want to just tell us a little bit about why you're here?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm listening. I'm listening so intently to everyone else. I've been involved with the Cancer Society for more years than I'd like to admit. Not just in this area, but previously I was on the board in Florida and some other states. So the Cancer Society really is an international organization, and I'm very happy to have been involved with it. You know, we pick things within our life that mean something to us. People usually volunteer for one reason, and that's because whatever the organization is, it touches them personally. Almost everyone in my family has either had cancer or has died of cancer, including both of my parents, grandparents, and everyone else. So it's personal to me. And I think that things have really changed, and we need to keep wanting things to change. It's not just the little things that the local cancer societies do, but research is of the utmost importance. And that's where I try to put my energies into making sure people realize that with research, there are cures, and we have come a long way, baby, but we have a long way to go yet.
Absolutely. Okay. Donna, how about you? You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Donna Laughlin. I was diagnosed with cancer 3 years ago in June of 2017. I actually had 2 different types of cancer in both breasts, which they said is rare, but I underwent the double mastectomy and had reconstruction. It made me a stronger person. I had oral chemo, no radiation, and then I'm on, they started me with another drug, and now I'm just on the, I can't even, anastrozole, and so far so good with all of that. I've had 2 strokes since then. They thought maybe the first stroke was due to the cancer, but now it looks like it isn't. It looks like I have small vessel disease in the right side of my brain. So they adjusted the medications for that now as well. And hopefully we're on the right road to recovery.
Terrific, terrific. Well, we're so glad that you're here today. Sheriff Martin, do you want to go next?
Sure. First of all, I want to thank the American Cancer Society for giving us this opportunity to show all of us the courage that we've had going through the individual situations that we've gone through, especially with this terrible disease. We all in our lives have somehow, some way been affected by cancer, be it ourselves, our family, our children, our grandparents, or even our close friends who, to many of us, are family. I myself have now been around for 15 years. Originally, I was diagnosed and I was advised that I only had a few months to live if I didn't follow through with a very stringent plan of medical assistance, not only through East Stroudsburg here, Pennsylvania, but also through Philly. I had the opportunity to go to Philly. I went through 2 stem cell transplants, 100 days apart, which was extremely difficult situation. I was without my family. I was in isolation for 30 days after each transplant. And I was also at that time still working. I was sheriff in Monroe County here for 25 years and in the sheriff's office for 38 years during this time period that I had this cancer. And it was very difficult for me because I had 3 wonderful children. At that time, my oldest was 16, my son was 12, and my youngest was 8. And it was very difficult for them to see what I had to go through and also see other patients. I lost 57 pounds. I had a lot of difficulties getting myself back up and moving in the right direction. But I did that mainly because of not only the family support, but also from the community and also from the county workers and my staff and my fire department family. I mean, it was just amazing that I think because of the position that I was in as an elected official and knew a lot of people, I think that I benefited from that. But I also think that the American Cancer Society and many of the people out there as victims, we would say, also benefited because it brought out the awareness of cancer and it brought out the awareness of the need for us to take better care of ourselves and to do everything we possibly can to be around for the families that we love and the people that love us.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Well said.
Amen.
Mary Kay.
Wow. I feel like I'm in awe of these people. Those stories, they make me weepy, so forgive. So my name is Mary Baker. I am a 61-year-old grandmother, also known as Gigi, of the most beautiful 18-month-old grandson, Jameson, and blessed to be here to be with him because my story is in 2007, I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. My daughter was 18 at the time. I was a single mom, and she was to be going off to college that fall. I was diagnosed in May, and she was supposed to be going to college that fall. it was a time when we were supposed to be celebrating her last dance recital and her graduation from high school and getting ready for college. And sadly, my diagnosis disrupted all of that for her and me and our families and everything else. And I distinctly remember her saying that summer, "Mom, I'm not going to go." After I was diagnosed, I had surgery. It was, I had 16 hot lymph nodes. And so they said, "I'm going to do 6 months of chemotherapy." And I started it. And that summer I said, "Mom, I'm not going to go. I can't leave you." And I said, "No." I remember, cancer is not defining us or you or who we are. You're going and you're going to succeed, and I'm going to do this, and we're going to get through it together. And my mother, who was 78 at the time, drove from Florida and came and lived with me for 6 months and kind of got me through the dark days. And there were dark days. I tried to tell myself, when you were asking what you tell people, I kept saying, "You're stronger than you think you are. You can do this." I did adopt the motto, "Do what makes you happy." If you are going through chemotherapy, if you're going through, find the things that make you happy. I bought clothes that were 3 sizes smaller than I would ever be in my life, but they fit me at the time, so I bought them. I bought shoes that I shouldn't have bought. I do the things that make you happy so you can find a little bit of joy. But I worked with wonderful people at Lehigh and talk about they were my work family and got me through it. Got through my 6 months of chemo, almost 3 years to the day from my stage 3 colon cancer, diagnosed with uterine cancer, and was referred to a gynecology oncologist who was wonderful, had surgery. Fortunately, did not have to do any follow-up chemotherapy from that. And then 3 years, almost to the day from that, they found polyps on my appendix, which in the grand scheme was a little thing, but again, it sort of just kept coming back, and so I had my appendix removed. So I've had several surgeries, but here I am, 17 years later from my first diagnosis, and like I said, I've not only seen my daughter graduate from high school, but then from college. She got married, had a beautiful wedding, and now I have this beautiful grandson that's 20 minutes away, and I get every day to see that little face, and nothing brings me more joy. You did ask, so a couple things. I have to recognize caregivers, and I'm sure anyone on this call would say the caregivers are the people who keep us going, and I think they're the unsung heroes, and we all have to be grateful for, and our family. I used to call the nurses in the infusion rooms God's angels on earth. Those people, how they do what they do is beyond me, but they get you through it. And my last thing is, if you are a survivor, I can't encourage you enough to volunteer, to find ways to give back, because we are here. And I've done that through work with the American Cancer Society. It was on the here for several years, and I also advise the Colleges Against Cancer group at Lehigh University, and those students give me hope for tomorrow. They give me hope that these people we're in good hands, because there are students that care about other, survivors of cancer. They all have a story. So those are my points. You're stronger than you think you are. Do what makes you happy and volunteer, and don't be afraid to ask your friends and family to donate money, because their dollar is the dollar that's going to fund cancer research, the dollar that's going to fund funds for, folks that are going through cancer, who need treatment, who need services and everything else. So with that, thank you for letting me tell my story.
Well, that's terrific. Thank you all so much. And since we mentioned donations, the number to donate this week to the telethon is 1-800-883-2109. That's 1-800-883-2109. Or you can donate online at cancertelethon.org. So I just want to throw that out there. That's a perfect transition, Mary Kay. This is kind of the reason we're here. We want to recognize all of you for what you've been through, and the courage that you've displayed, and the hope that you've given other people. But yes, we're trying to do research and get a cure, definitely. So is there anything else that any of you want to talk about, how you've changed? What has happened? What have you learned, and how have you changed since you've gone through this?
Marta, it's Teresa. So I would say this. I feel like an expert, sadly, an expert at dealing with cancer, but it hasn't defined me. And I think Mary Kay mentioned that. It is a really strong message that we want to tell people. That isn't who we are. And we are survivors. And I have an opportunity every now and then to speak to a fairly large group of cancer survivors to hopefully inspire and encourage those survivors that they can get through this and that there is hope. There's always hope. And absolutely important is the research. I'm a nurse, so I see what it takes to care for people who are going through some difficult illnesses, particularly cancer. I can speak from my perspective and tell you that I'm a better nurse and a better mother and a better wife because of what I've been through. You know, it's not all negative. It has changed my perspective on life. I'd like to think that I look at the things, and it's an old adage, everyone says it, that I look at things in terms of their importance or non-importance. And I try not to stress over the things that really in the end are not that important. I value family, my work, my coworkers. I could not have gotten through my cancer episodes without the support of the wonderful family, particularly the folks at the Blue Mountain Health System. I was fortunate enough to be working there as the nursing vice president when I had the second bout of breast cancer, and they were incredible to me and lifted me up. And they were the ones who encouraged me to participate in the Pink Light Walk. And I did that with my kids and my husband and had the opportunity to speak. So that's the giving back piece. But absolutely, friends and family, we need money. And we need a lot of it, and we want you to help us. We want you to help the Cancer Society so that we can put an end to all of the cancer, terrible cancer illnesses that are out there. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I'll go, Marta, because I think one of the things I've always said is I often wondered, was this God's way of showing me that there's good people out there? If there was better ways he could have shown me, but in the end, I mean, as Teresa said, my friends, my family, my work colleagues, I mean, the amount of the outpouring of love and support and literally, what can I do? Can I shop for you? Can I tell you a joke and make you laugh? Whatever it is, I will do it. It's just the good in people comes out, and it just, you know, it does make you feel good. As I said, I thought there was other ways God could show me that, but if that was his way, then so be it. And I did learn a lesson about really the good in people and what they will do for you. But I also learned that do what makes you happy. And that wasn't just in 2007 or 2010 or 2013, whatever it was. That's my everyday mantra now. If it's going to make you happy, please do it and enjoy it. And I hope that what makes people happy
You're
is
making me cry.
money for a really good cause.
So what makes you happy, Mary Kay?
Spending time with Liam every moment I can get, going on vacation to the shore, buying good shoes. I have too many. But I just find joy in little things. And I used to think twice about it. And honestly, these days, I don't think twice anymore because you don't know. And so I do those things because I'm lucky enough I can, but also because it gives me a little bit of joy.
Terrific, terrific. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I have 3 slogans that I've always used. One is keep the faith. The other one is one day at a time. And the most important one is working together to make a difference. And they're all important. And when you look at things like that, and we look at life, and we look about what each one of us has gone through, you have to look at the most important things, which are hope, faith, and love within our families, within ourselves, within our life. And it's just so important that we remember that we're not here on our own. We're here to, you know, show people what we have gone through. Like you've said, to be able to give the encouragement to the people that are being diagnosed with these diseases and to help us fund these experimental treatments and these treatments that come out to be the most amazing, medicines that help people. You look at St. Jude's, you look at all these different things with all the children and that, and you look at what we all go through. And I have to agree 100% that, the caretakers are important. The nurses are important. Every single person has a specific value that moves into the direction to make us all better people and to give us that opportunity. I mean, I have to agree. I'm grateful because I have been around to see my children graduate from high school, my children graduate from college, my daughter get married, to have 2 grandchildren, and it's my life to stay around, and it's my responsibility to advocate and to show other people who have multiple myeloma cancer, which is a blood-borne cancer, to be able to show them that you can move forward every day. You can do it on your own, and a lot of times we try, but without the support of those people, be it family or friends or coworkers or whoever may be out there, we can't do this alone. We need your help. We need that direction. I believe in my heart that I just found 3 more friends today. I've known Marta for a long time, but you're amazing women, absolutely amazing women. And thank you again for this time.
At you.
Thank you.
Marta, the other thing that comes to mind, and I don't know if folks have watched it, but I occasionally go back to it, is Jim Valvano's speech from many years ago.
Never give up.
Don't give up, don't ever give up. And just him say that and knowing what he was going through at the time says a lot. That's an important message. And I think if you're going through treatment, you just have to tell yourself, you just can't give up.
That's great. Donna.
Yes, you can't give up on anything. Don't let anything bring you down. And yes, take the support of friends and family. I have friends that cook meals for me. St. Luke's, I have to shout out to St. Luke's. They took very good care of me every time I went to the hospital. My last episode last Friday, the ambulance took me to St. Luke's, and they've done everything. My family, my coworkers, and strangers I met at work at the restaurant that became friends. You need everybody to get through that. And it makes you stronger. And we'll seek donations, and we will beat cancer everywhere eventually.
Yes, yes.
Your mouth.
It's really, it's beautiful to see, as we sit here listening to your stories and everything, all of you are so different, and yet you're also very much alike. If I wrote down how many times you all said friends and family,
Yes.
and that's really what gets us all through everything every day. And I think most of the time, you guys have been fighting for your friends and your family. It's not about you. It's you did it. You all mentioned you wanted to do it. You wanted to see your children grow up. You wanted to see grandchildren. So you're unselfish in so many ways. And everything that you have gone through, your friends and family really have gone through with you, and they love you for it. And they thank you. They look at you and just see strength and courage that is just not found all the time. It's so easy to give up. You know that, Donna. You've past couple weeks for you. It would be so easy to give up, but none of you have ever done it because you have family that are counting on you to be strong. So, blessings to all of you. I think that this year, more than others, we're all going through different things. And because we're doing Zoom, who'd have ever thought we would be doing this in Zoom? Who'd have ever thought the telethon, that you wouldn't have a million little kids running around wanting to dance at the telethon, all day long. That's just something we never thought would happen. But once again, there's a determination for people because it is personal. So we're doing it this way, and thank you for being for being the first. How about that? You guys are the first.
Yes.
And you, Sheriff, are pretty darn lucky to have 3 women to be sharing this honor with this year. I don't want to say anything, but you know.
I said that. You
I
can't.
know.
I did say
I'm
that.
glad you recognized it.
I actually recognized it right away, and I was like, you know, and it's amazing to listen to their stories and to see on how strong they are, and see that there are other people out there that have gone through, you know, a lot of the same measures that we've all gone through. I just want to add one thing, and Marta knows about this from many years ago. My oldest daughter, when I got sick, when we're talking about the need for monies and talking about the need for contributions and donations, my oldest daughter, Carly, in the year that I got sick, decided that she was going to come up with red bracelets that said Sheriff Todd A. Martin, and underneath it said working together to make a difference. And she went through the schools and the high schools and all of the football teams and the basketball teams and all that, and she sold these, and she sold over $10,000
Oh my.
worth of bracelets and donated that. We went to Lehigh County, and they had their American Cancer dinner, and we had no idea. We presented them with a check for over $10,000 to go towards research, but then they presented her with kind of like a community type of award. And this was something that she thought of all herself, and it was her way to, you know, not only promote the illness and to promote people, but it gathered my whole community together. I mean, it was just amazing. I mean, they had fundraisers and stuff for, you know, like the field hockey team, and it was just, and that's the way to get things out. The best advertisement is for us to talk about it. It doesn't matter what you put it, where you put it, but to talk about it from one to another, because we've all been, or all of us have been involved with the damaging disease of cancer, like I said. And the only way to get the word out there is for us to speak about it, and for us to show everybody as the Little 4 ambassadors for 2020 to get out there to help us move forward, so that the rest of our families and friends don't end up going through the same battles that we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else? I mean, that was awesome. Certainly inspiring for me. Makes me think about things.
Thank you all. You're an inspiration to many, especially us. We're the lucky ones. I hope we get to be your family now too.
Yes, family and
Absolutely.
friends. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Consider it done.
Okay.
After this weekend, it can't end. We need to keep in touch.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Just a parting words here. Again, the phone number, if people want to donate this weekend, which it's already operational, 1-800-883-2109 or cancertelethon.org. The cancer telethon starts at noon tomorrow, and it's on cable stations, local cable stations, and streaming on YouTube. It goes 12 to 12, noon to midnight, Saturday and Sunday. The Courage Awards, Todd Martin will get his Courage Award at 2:15 tomorrow. Mary Kay Baker, 2:15 Sunday. Teresa Long, 7.
Between 7:15, Teresa and Donna.
Yes, yes. So we just ask everybody
On
to
Sunday.
tune in.
Sunday.
Yes, Sunday. And thank you so much to all of you for sharing your stories with us.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
both.
for the honor.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
It was wonderful to meet all of you, my fellow survivors, and I do hope we can, in person, maybe have dinner or coffee or something at some point. That would be wonderful. And Mary Kay, by the way, I think you said you're at Lehigh.
I am for 34 years.
My son is going into his sophomore year there.
Oh, Teresa, did you get the email?
I did. Yes, he texted me today. He's very disappointed, but
My apologies. I
No.
spent most of the day on the phone fielding questions. So if you have questions, contact me.
it's
That's my area, so I can probably give you a hand.
what a small world.